Oh, this continues just to be a heavy time for so many of us. The pandemic, the racial injustice, wildfires, and the unhealthy air. Emotional for adults as well. What about the children? How much damage is this doing to them? Joining us from San Francisco this evening is Dr. Nadine Burke Harris, California's first ever Surgeon General. Dr. Burke Harris, thanks for being on the program. Before we get to the kids here, just for all of us feeling overwhelmed, what's your quick guidance here?
Well, if you've got a yoga mat at home or you've got a meditation app on your phone, now's a good time to put them to use. You know, it's with the air quality, now's a good time to try an indoor dance party. Exercise is important, so if we can't go outside, finding ways to do things like exercise inside is really important.
We appreciate your good energy there. You're also a pediatrician. Will our kids feel the long-term impact with all that's going on here?
Well, there certainly is a lot of stress going on, but what we know is that we as caregivers actually have the ability to buffer that stress from our kids. And the way that we do that, number one, is by taking care of ourselves, right? Self-care isn't selfish. The number one ingredient for a healthy child is a healthy parent or caregiver. But the other thing is doing some of these same things for kids, making sure that they are able to connect with their friends, making sure that they do have time to play, even if they can't go outside. And, you know, those buffering caregiving relationships really can make the difference between, you know, stress that's what we call tolerable and stress really affecting long-term health.
Doctor, you have 4 kids. I have 2 kids. It's easier said than done. Sometimes we just get exhausted. What about at that point? What can you do?
Yeah, well, try not to stress too much about the dings in the walls. That's what's going on over at my house. But what I would say is that for our kids, really our being there for them is so important. It really does make such a huge difference. And you know, trying to find those activities that they can do inside. You know, for my littlest one, my 4-year-old and my 8-year-old. Legos has been what it's been all about, and just keep in mind that we will be able to get back out there soon. So making meaning of this, recognizing that this is another reason why it's so important for all of us to recognize that climate change, right, isn't not only affects our environment, but affects our health. And that's something that each of us can do something about putting forth solutions.
Dr. Burke Harris, your background is fascinating. You've done a lot of work with talking about good stress and bad stress. Is there some good positives coming out of this for our kids? Is there such a thing as good stress for them to learn from here?
Yeah, well, stress really helps us grow, right? And that's one of the critical things. And so there's a lot of opportunity here for us to, number one, recognize our sources of resilience. One of the things I say all the time is that the challenges that we've experienced in life are often the source of our superpowers, right? And the ability for us to make it through these challenges and really cultivate these superpowers really comes from the support that we have.
All right, Doctor. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, maintaining our support is so important.
I was just going to say, don't go anywhere. We'd like to have you back on the program down the road. Thanks for your insight tonight.
Great tips.
Thank you.
Thanks, Doctor.